Okay, in this template, we're going to use the master template slider to create a slideshow. And so we'll start by just creating a new page using the master template slider. And we'll give it a name. Let's call it Inspiration. It goes on the root, save and add content, and then there's only a couple of things that come up for content. My arrows and my audio. So I can't actually put images or anything up in this section, but we'll deal with that in a second. So my slider arrows, what do they look like? Well, let me show you one of these in action. This one I built for the Morgan Edwards site. So here you have a page built in the master template, and then it slides across. So these are my arrows. These arrows have been custom imported for this, and I'll make those available to you as well. So this is the master template slider in action, so you know what we're building. So let's go back to the back end here. So those arrows, I like those arrows. I'm going to use the same ones. So I can bring in my own arrows, or we have some you can download as well. So under arrows, I'm going to select my left arrow, and then I'm going to select my right arrow. Okay, so those are my two arrows. Now I'm going to come down here, and I can add audio for this as well. I won't do that right now because that's going to get distracting, I think. I guess I could just do it. So I'll choose a file which will be under here. I have a little music clip. Let me see how big it is. 2 megabytes. Okay, so we can wait for that to upload while I talk through here about the music. So your MP3, if you bring in an MP3, be careful with the volume. You want to be careful not to play things too loud on the internet. People don't like that. It's distracting a lot of the time. The controller box enables people to play or pause the audio while it's playing. A loop and autoplay, kind of self-explanatory. Loop, it'll start over once it reaches the end. Autoplay, it'll start playing right away, which you normally would want. So I'll update that. Now, when I look at this page, there's nothing there yet. Well, maybe there is. Let's see. Inspiration. Okay, there is audio, but I don't have the controller, if you can hear that. But let me go back. See why I don't have control over that. Okay, because I disabled the control box. So I want to put that hard right. I'll show you where that is. So I'm just going to refresh that page. Okay, so there's the audio there, and that's the controller box for the audio, so I can stop the audio. But there's no pages here, there's no content. So how do I add content to this? Well, what we have to do is make a new page. Let's call the new page. I'm going to make it using the master template, and the root of it is going to be Inspiration, which is our primary controlling master template slider. So we're going to call this one Slide 1, save and add content. I'll make another one called Slide 2, save and add content, and I'll make a third called Slide 3. So these are 3 master templates that I'm making, 3 slides that I'm making using the master template slider. Oh wait, did I define that? Inspiration. Not sure if I did on Slide 2. Let me check. Let's see how it looks. No, I didn't. So I come here to Slide 2 and define that to Inspiration. Update. Pages. And they're actually in order. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. They're defaulting into the menu, which means they're coming. Actually, we're not going to see them in the menu because their parent is this Inspiration. So pause that. So there's the button which I imported, which is going to the right. If I want to make changes to the buttons or the MP3, I go back here. My arrow position is at the top. I actually prefer it at the bottom, so I just made that change. And then I can see that here. Now, there's still no content on these slides, but they do exist. So let's go back. That audio is going to get annoying. I'm just going to turn my audio off. So we know that it's playing. I'll turn it back on when we're done. So now, even though there's sub pages here of inspiration, they're not showing on here as subfolders because they actually go from page 1 to page 2 to page 3. They're supposed to be controlled via these arrows. So that's why we don't see them as subcategories. So let's add some content. So on slide 1, we talked about the controls of the master template. I'll put a full screen image. I can put a video if I want, but I'm going to put a full screen image. Choose an image. And let's see, what have I got that's good? I like this film noir theme. Let me see, that I might use that for the last one. Let's see, some old theater would be cool. That's pretty cool. That's weird. Okay, so it looks like it's this one. It's the best one. So I'm going to put that up as a full screen image. So now, let me put up a full screen image on the second slide and possibly the third slide as well. So pages. Slide 2, I can put up one of the other ones. Full screen images. Cinema with, no, that one's too weird. I'll put that up last. That's the one I chose. Remove people. Okay, so, all right. So we can start with those two. Have a look at how that looks. So refresh. And you'll see the image pop up like that. Bang, full screen. So it's quite dramatic. There's a reason I chose this. We'll look at that in a second. And then if I want to go to my second slide, I can pop over to my second slide. Now, if I put multiple full screen images on one slide, this will create a slideshow, but it's going to tend to get distracting between going through this slideshow and then the slideshow that I'm building. So you'll have a slideshow and a slideshow. Probably not a desirable effect, so I'm not going to show you that, but you can kind of imagine it. So now I'm tabbing to my second slide. There's my second slide. Now you'll note here I have 2 arrows. On the first slide I only have 1 because I have to go in this direction. Here I have 2, and that fades in and out nicely. So let's add some more content to the first slide. So I'm going to use the WYSIWYG here to add an image for my first slide. And let's see what I've got. That's kind of interesting. Let's see. I like this slide, so I'm going to choose this as my first slide. It's uploading. As with always on the master template, it puts itself over there. I can just pop it there in the middle. Or if you remember, I think in this, maybe something like that would be better for this image. If you remember, we'll have to go have another look at it. So it looks kind of like that. So roughly like that size in the content box. So something like that. So let's have a look and see how that looks. So let's see how that sits in that box. Is it coming? Uh-oh, maybe I put it on the next slide. Yeah, I did. Okay. So let's go back. Just bear with me. I'll remove that. It's okay, you can see how this all works as we go. So back to slide 1. Add image. Choose file. And that was this one. So it uploads very quickly. And then we position that where we think it might belong in that. Something around there. Let's go back to have a look at that. So we're going to be on our first slide, which we are. Good chunk. Okay, so there's the idea of it. Obviously, I could move it to the left a little bit. Well, I'll just do it. And then just retoggle it, refresh it, and it'll go back. Okay, so that's not bad. So that's kind of cool, a cool effect. Now, I could keep that background on for each slide by adding it as a full screen image if I wanted to keep playing with this effect. As it happens now, there's the second full screen image. So you get the idea of this. And now I can also add text or anything else that the master template can do. Let's hear it with my music. My music may have ended. I know it's because the volume's down. Okay, so there's 2 pages. Just very quickly, I'll make a 3rd page. I think you're getting the idea of it already. So on the 3rd page, I'm going to take a different tack, and I'm going to pull in some images. So I'm going to add image, choose. I'm going to choose that image. And I'm kind of getting sick of this just flat on images, so I'm going to rotate it left a little bit, like 3 degrees. And then I can also have this as a link if I wanted to. Within this page, it could link to something. Okay, save that. Okay, so it's rotated. I actually wanted it to rotate the other way because of it's on the left side of the screen, the page. I'm going to add another image. And that's a great image. Okay, so I choose that image. And this is kind of a cool thing too with the master template that I didn't tell you about before. If you keep pushing it over, it will kind of just go slightly off the edge there, which can be a nice effect. So I'm going to push it over a little bit, but let's have a look. So that's my 3rd slide. Don't forget, I can put text on any of these, obviously. Slide number 3. Let's make it big, 30 points. And I'll put it in Courier. And I'll make it black. I'll make it default, which will be black. So slide number 3, whatever you want. Okay, so let's have a look at that. So there's our 3 slides. Now I'll have 3. Slide 1. Slide 2, slide 3. So that gives you an idea of how I built this one. It's all the same stuff. So that's the master template slider. You can also add video, don't forget that. Very creative tool, fun, great on an iPad, very easy to use. Takes really just a few minutes as you sort of to build a whole slideshow. It has a number of uses. Personally, I would use it as a blog. Put something up once a week, entertain your clients, great for events, all kinds of things. So that's it for the master template slider. So up next, let's see what we'll be looking at in the next tutorial. We're looking at the click and slide, which is very easy to use. Okay, thank you.